Gilles Villeneuve, a name that evokes sheer passion, raw speed, and uncompromising commitment behind the wheel. In the short time Gilles graced Formula One, he became a legend, beloved by fans and revered by rivals. But what if the tragic events of Zolder in 1982 had never happened? What if Villeneuve had lived to pursue the future that seemed almost inevitable, a move to McLaren? This is the story of Gilles Villeneuve's extraordinary career and the tantalising question, what might have been? Before he was a Formula One icon, Villeneuve was a young man chasing speed in every form. Born in Quebec, Canada, Villeneuve developed a love for racing on the icy tracks of Canada's snowmobile circuits. It was here that he honed the car control and fearless style that would define his career. Snowmobile racing was more than a winter pastime for Gilles, it was a proving ground. Competing in sub-zero temperatures at breakneck speeds, Villeneuve learned the art of improvisation and resilience. By the early 1970s, Gilles turned his attention to road racing, joining Canada's Formula Ford and Formula Atlantic series. It was in Formula Atlantic where Gilles' talent became undeniable. It was here that he demolished his competition, winning the 1976 championship and capturing the attention of Formula One insiders. His performances at the Three Rivers Grand Prix, where he outpaced several established Formula One drivers, were particularly eye-catching. Among those impressed was reigning world champion James Hunt, who was so taken by Villeneuve's performance that he urged McLaren to sign the young Canadian. Hunt's endorsement proved pivotal in securing Gilles' first Formula One opportunity. Gilles' one-off debut at Silverstone in 1977 for McLaren was promising, but it was Enzo Ferrari who saw the makings of a future champion. Ferrari swooped in, and by the end of the year, Villeneuve had joined the Scuderia. Villeneuve's years at Ferrari cemented his reputation as one of the most thrilling drivers in F1 history. There were highs like the unforgettable wheel-to-wheel duel with René Arnoux at the 1979 French Grand Prix, but two of his most iconic victories came in 1981, where Villeneuve piloted a Ferrari that had no right to be at the front to win the Monaco and Spanish Grand Prix. The Spanish Grand Prix that year was a masterclass in defensive driving. Villeneuve held off five faster cars lap after lap on the tight Jarama circuit, never putting a wheel wrong. It was an extraordinary feat, achieved with a car that was clearly outclassed by its rivals. And his win at Monaco just weeks earlier on the unforgiving streets of Monte Carlo was no less remarkable. Gilles not only secured a front row start against the odds, but he did so in a Ferrari 126CK that was considered one of the least competitive cars on the grid. To underscore his brilliance, his teammate Didier Pironi qualified a distant 17th, nearly 3 seconds slower than Gilles. Despite his flamboyant and daring style, Villeneuve was renowned for his respect on the track. He was fearless, but he was never a dirty driver. His driving was clean, which earned him the admiration of his peers as well as his fans. But for all his brilliance on track, tension was mounting within Ferrari. The 1982 season brought new challenges, both mechanical and political, and none were more dramatic than what unfolded at the San Marino Grand Prix. The 1982 race at Imola was the breaking point. Villeneuve felt betrayed by the teammate Didier Pironi, who disregarded team orders to snatch victory. The betrayal cut deep for Gilles. It was particularly painful because he had abided by team orders in 1979, sacrificing his own championship hopes to help Jody Scheckter secure the title at Monza. Villeneuve's loyalty had been unwavering, and Pironi's actions at Imola felt like the ultimate betrayal. Just 2 weeks after the controversy at San Marino, Gilles Villeneuve arrived at the Belgian Grand Prix at Zolder. Tensions within Ferrari were still high, but Gilles remained determined to prove himself on the track. Tragically, during qualifying, Villeneuve collided with Jochen Mass's car in a horrific accident. The impact was catastrophic, and Gilles lost his life, leaving the racing world in shock and mourning. But what if Gilles had survived Zolder? How might the rest of the 1982 season have played out? The Ferrari 126C2 was a strong car, and Gilles, despite his disappointment at Imola, would have likely challenged for the championship. Villeneuve had the pace and skill to challenge for victories at circuits like Monaco, Silverstone and Hockenheim. His rivalry with Pironi, though simmering, could have driven both drivers to push the car to its limits. By season's end, Villeneuve might have been in contention for the championship, a title Ferrari had been chasing since 1979. The intra-team battle between Villeneuve and Pironi would have been one of the most defining narratives of the season, potentially reminiscent of the infamous Prost-Senna duels of later years. And yet, even with a championship in his grasp, the events of 1982 might still have prompted Gilles to seek a new challenge. Rumours had already linked him to McLaren for 1983, a team on the cusp of turbocharged dominance. Under Ron Dennis's leadership, Gilles would have had access to the cutting-edge TAG Porsche turbo engine. But the story wouldn't have stopped there. Villeneuve's talent, passion and longevity could have seen him continue competing into the late 1980s and potentially even 1990s. He would have been a natural rival to Ayrton Senna, the rising Brazilian star whose relentless pursuit of perfection mirrored Villeneuve's own fearless spirit. Their rivalry could have been the stuff of legends, two titans of different eras clashing on the same stage. Sadly, we were deprived of this dream rivalry, as well as the chance to see Gilles evolve alongside the sport he loved. It's tantalizing to imagine what he could have achieved with the advancements in car technology and the turbo era's full maturity. Of course, this is all speculation. What we know for certain is that Gilles Villeneuve left an indelible mark on Formula One in just 6 short years. He was the embodiment of courage and passion, a man who drove as if every race was his last. The question of what might have been will always haunt fans of Gilles Villeneuve, but perhaps the part of his enduring legacy. Gilles reminds us of the beauty of the sport, the risks, the rewards, and the undeniable thrill of a driver pushing the limits. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this exploration of Gilles Villeneuve's career and his untapped potential, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. Who else in F1 history deserves a what-if story? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next video.